I'm Jeremy, and I've driven countless cars from around the world. But my passion is exotic cars. The faster, the better.
I'm Chris. I love driving too, but I like a little more comfort and practicality in my ride.
Together, we'll take you behind the drive.
I have seen a lot of Nissans, have not seen a Nissan like this.
I'll bet you haven't. This is actually Nissan's flagship sports car, the GTR.
It doesn't have that sports car sexy look.
It's not the prettiest car on the road, admittedly, but every single creases in the hood, the creases in the doors, even the lip on the wing mirror, everything is there for the purpose of channeling air.
So despite its boxy appearance, this is actually very aerodynamic.
Yes, it is. As I recall, Chris, you're a bit of a Nissan aficionado.
Oh yeah, my first car was a 1982 Nissan Datsun Sentra with a saran-wrapped headlight and a crack in the windshield. Then I moved on to a 1990 240SX. Love that car. Love the rear-wheel drive.
If you like the rear-wheel drive characteristics of the 240, you're actually going to like this car as well. Granted, this is a four-wheel drive car. However, in normal driving, 90% of the torque is sent to the rear wheels with only 10% to the front. So as a result, it has a very distinct rear-wheel drive bias. But it does have that four-wheel drive capability to bail you out if you ever screw up on the road or you need some help getting out of a corner.
I've done a little fishtailing in that 240SX before. I imagine it's got a larger engine than my 240.
Quite a bit larger.
Oh yeah, tight fit in there.
It is definitely crammed in there really tight. This is a 485 horsepower, 3.8 liter, twin turbocharged V6. All of these engines are hand-built by one technician. So as a result, in independent testing, many of them are actually found to be producing more than 485 horsepower.
Well, I guess the massive engine explains the massive brakes that take up almost the entire wheel.
You're exactly right. These are a 380mm drilled and ventilated disc, clamped by a 6-piston Brembo caliper. In the rear, you have the same size disc clamped by a 4-piston caliper. This braking system was developed custom for this car.
You have a custom designed engine, you've got the custom designed braking system. This whole car is just custom.
From the engine, to the brakes, to the drivetrain, the transmission, the computers that control the entire thing, everything for this vehicle was designed from a clean sheet of paper.
Custom door handle too, I see.
You did that pretty well. A lot of people have trouble with that. Pretty comfortable place to be. You feel like you're sort of wrapped. The car shrinks around you.
Sports cars and my height, I have a lot of trouble trying to get in, but this was one of the easier cars I've had been able to get into without too much trouble.
Yeah, the doors open really wide. It's sort of an easy step to get into them. Let's take it for a spin.
Let's do it.
It's the ride. Really firm in this car. And you can feel every single little bump in the road is being transmitted into the cabin. You also find that, you know, if you get on it, the car goes in a hurry, and it'll just hold on the corner. How is it from the passenger seat?
Oh, it's very comfortable. I can't imagine being in the back, but up here it's nice.
So what do you think, Chris? You ready for your turn?
I am ready. They want me to go. Whoa! See, that's the computer came in there and it got me out of trouble. In the 240SX, I might have been facing the other way. I think it's a really good compromise, especially for somebody like me who not a real big fan of the bare bones high performance cars, with difficult to get in and out of, squishy, hot, just not comfortable. I think it's a very good compromise between the two. This thing is aching for the track. I can't do anything with this out here. Now, out of all the cars we've tried out so far, this car, to me, feels the most solid. I feel confident going into the curves, unlike the other cars where if I push too much, they'll just slip right out. See, I come around that corner really tight. This one I feel in control of. And the nice thing about this one, it actually feels like a real car as opposed to the other ones which feel kind of like toys or just kind of real bare bones. You can actually ride in this car on a daily basis. That's what I really like about it.
So tell me, what do you think?
I love it. I love it. Now, it doesn't turn quite as well as some of the other cars that we've checked out before.
Admittedly, the GTR, a little bit heavier, which is probably what you're feeling. Although that being said, that extra weight is probably giving you a little bit more confidence to push a little harder in the corners.
Overall, I thought it was great.
Now that you've had your fun, you can give me a shot?
Here you go.
Mind if I put the window down again?
You go right ahead.
The amazing thing about the GTR is the amount of confidence it inspires in the driver. With all the computers to take control, you feel like you can't put a foot wrong. Brakes are phenomenal. Stop after stop, they do not fade. Downshift's really fast. Flips the throttle on the downshift. As long as you don't do anything ill-advised, like lift off the power or brake mid-corner, traction control will pull you out of almost any situation. That being said, you do get the feel that because of all the technology, if it ever does let go, you're going to be on your own. Well, Chris, what do you think?
Definitely liked the fact that it's heavy and it seemed to really to grab the road. I like that. I felt much more confident in that car than any other sports car I've driven. Even in the comfort position, it seemed still kind of a little rough.
That suspension is really stiff. I mean, there's no doubt that you feel every interaction with the road surface.
Well, I think as a road car, I think it works really well. Because it has a lot of the creature comforts that a lot of other sports cars don't have. I mean, you have all the navigation system, you have just a lot more comfortable seating position.
It's not one of the stripped out sort of specials that we've driven in the past. It's not really adapted for the road, it's actually built for the road.
Well, and that's one of the beauties of the GTR. That's what I like about it so much, is that if you're a person who wants a performance car, but also maybe can't afford to have both a performance car and a daily driver, this can kind of fit the bill for both needs.
Value for money? This car's very hard to beat. It is a shining achievement of technology, but as a functional, usable product on a daily basis for an indefinite period of time, I think it's a bit too much. So bottom line for you, would you drive that car? Would you buy it?
I honestly would. I really like that car. Like I said, I think it fits the balance between comfort and performance.